Hey guys, Tom back here for another video response. Gimme 10, 77. Haven't watched anyone's responses yet, so I'm not sure who showed what, but as you guys probably know, mostly jazz for me as usual, so let's get up into this. A couple of these records I just got recently, but I have to throw them in here, they're so good. Although this is the only one I picked for my 10. Michael Gregory Jackson, Clarity. I just got this on vinyl recently, showed it in my last update, but I've known about this record for a while now, for years, and I love it. So good. Just check out the players there. If you didn't see my last update, it's like a jazz fusion, really, let's grab this, fusiony, funky, really great jazz, free at times. Michael Gregory Jackson, sings on some of it, uses his voice more like an instrument. But he's I'm usually not into vocal jazz, but this is just really, really good. Worked great. So, along with Oliver Lake, David Murray, Leo Smith, great stuff. So, speaking of Oliver Lake, I'm supposed to be seeing him, Andrew Cyrille, and Reggie Workman on Sunday, tomorrow. So, should be an awesome show, hopefully. Next up, another jazz fusion record. You know I love my jazz fusion, but this is one I don't see too many people talk about always. Mike Santiago and Entity with White Trees. Basically, kind of a bass jazz fusion, but it definitely goes everywhere. A little bit of rock, a little bit of funkier jazz, a little bit of freer jazz. Yeah, kind of all over the place. Definitely check out the Flight of the Sparrow track, or also the White Trees Suite. It's another one to check out. I'd recommend, but awesome stuff right here. This probably wouldn't be everyone's choice for an Alice Coltrane album, but it's one of my favorites just because for a couple tracks basically. So this is, I'm not gonna butcher your name again, but Radha Krishna Nama Sankirtana. Amazing. Just, I love her version of Govinda JJ, and I love the last track, which is called Om Namah Shivaya. Yeah, it's like 20 minutes, takes up the whole second side. Amazing kind of Indian modal improvisation, so damn good. Awesome rhythms, awesome patterns. This is actually cool, I thought, because it's a misprint. So side A, I just want to show you guys this real quick. Side A is actually the Alice Coltrane regular labels, but side B is Alice Cooper. What's the name of the record? Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. So I thought that was kind of fitting for a misprint. It's kind of a funny, ironic in a way, but I don't know, the music's all on there, just the labels are wrong, but I thought that was kind of comical. So, but yeah, great Alice Coltrane stuff. Just for those two tracks, I would say this record is worth a buy alone. Not the other stuff isn't good, but it's just some of my favorite. Just make me fall in love with Alice Coltrane even more than I already have when I first heard it. One of the earliest jazz artists I've ever heard, or free jazz I should say, artist, was Arthur Blythe, and The Grip was one of the first records I heard, along with Metamorphosis. They were both recorded on the same night in concert. It's a live record. It's fantastic free jazz with Ahmed Abdullah, Bob Stewart, Abdullah Wadud, Steve Reed, and Muhammad Abdullah. Yeah, an Indian Navigation. Fantastic jazz. Just go check it out. This one and Metamorphosis, both of them are equally good, in my opinion. But one that my brother Chris Cole sent me, and definitely ended up being one of my favorites, Colin Wolcott with Grazing Dreams on ECM. Fantastic kind of spiritual jazz here. Yeah, great stuff. Don Cherry plays on this. John Abercrombie, Don Romeo, and Pali Danielson. Colin Wolcott plays sitar and tabla. So awesome, kind of a soothing, spiritual record. Love it. So damn good. Another one, that soothing kind of soul vibe, funky at times was Linda Tillery. I know this one's pretty well loved as well in the community. I remember Andrew Champ Sound, I believe, showing this a while back, but awesome stuff. Like I said, it's really soulful. Definitely worth seeking out if you don't know it. And it's just self-titled, I believe. Moving on to one of the best free jazz players, I think, one of the best tenor sax players in my opinion, Frank Lowe. This is the Frank Lowe Orchestra, Lo and Behold. Kind of a play on his name there, but this his orchestra group features Joseph Bowie, trombone, Lawrence Butch Morris, and cornet, Arthur Williams, Billy Bang, Eugene Chadbourne, John Lindbergh, Philip Wilson, John Zorn, Peter Kuhn, so a bunch of well-known musicians. It's fantastic, fantastically played. Free jazz, improvised jazz. It gets out there, it's heavy stuff, so if that's not your thing, you're not going to dig it, but if you're into that, then definitely check this out. And another one that gets out there just as much, and really, really heavy, crazy stuff, one of my favorites, Milford Graves, Bobby, I'm still not sure how to pronounce this correctly, but yeah, just Milford Graves is going crazy on the drums. This is on the IPS label, Institute of Percussive Studies, his own label. Yeah, thank you to Joe. If you happen to see this, Joe, thank you. I got this from him, so big thanks to him. Fantastic. Once again, free jazz, heavy free jazz. If you're not into that heavy, crazy type of free jazz, you probably won't enjoy this, but amazing playing. And the last couple here are more in the spiritual vein. My favorite Dollar Brand record, I would say. Favorite work from him was The Journey. So good. Awesome lineup on this, including Hania Blewett, Don Cherry, Colors Ward, Johnny Diani, Roy Brooks, John Besh, Abdullah Ibrahim, obviously himself. Yeah, Cloud Jones. So amazing lineup. Nice elements of spiritual and his own style of jazz as well. And to round off the top 10 here, my top 10, we have one that's well loved, showed a lot in the VC, but I have to show it as well. Dizzy Reese, Possession, Exorcism piece. I'm sure it might get shown again, but good reason. Fantastic. On the Honeydew label. Like I said, I know it's been talked about and shown quite a bit, so I'm not going to go on about it, but if you don't know it, just listen to it. Fantastic jazz in a spiritual sense. And, it's time to have 8 minutes. I'll still show, I have a bunch of stuff that didn't quite make the cut, so I'll just run through them real quick. But there's a lot, like, there's a lot for this year, so this is the stuff that I love that didn't quite make the cut. Don Patterson, awesome organ player. This is a smoking record. It's called Moving Up by Don Patterson. It's on the Muse label. Fantastic. I would recommend just going to check it out. One that's kind of a cheat, not really, I don't know. John Coltrane's First Meditations. It was recorded in '65, but it wasn't released until '77, so I just throw it in there just because it's one of my favorite Coltrane's. It's just really good, so. This whole series is fantastic, but this is one just when it was released in '77. Wildflowers 5. Basically, it's a compilation of jazz that was recorded in New York loft scene. So this one in particular has Sonny Murray and the Untouchable Factor, which features Sonny Murray, David Murray, Byron Lancaster, Con Jamal, Fred Hopkins, and side B has Roscoe Mitchell. Sorry about the hammering if you can hear without getting our garage doors changed, but. Yeah, second side is Roscoe Mitchell. So, Jerome Cooper, Don Moore, sorry. Next up, fantastic little Japanese record, which, well, kind of Japanese. It's recorded in Japan. Warren Smith and Toki. Nice little short record, only 2 tracks, but fantastic Japanese kind of inspired jazz. Damn good. One that my man Greg sent me. The Street Dancer, Rising. Awesome jazz fusion stuff on here. Featuring Chico Freeman, which Jordan makes a record. He wrote on here that Chico Freeman kind of makes this record. He kind of does too. I kind of agree with them. I don't think this record would be the same if Chico Freeman wasn't on it. So great stuff. Kind of jazz rock, jamming, but also jazz fusion too. And speaking of Bayard Lancaster, Exodus from Bayard Lancaster, excuse me. You really can't go wrong with any of his music, in my opinion. But I think this was one of the easier ones to get. So, fantastic stuff. And I'm sure this one's going to be shown, but it's, aside from The Wall, one of the first albums that really made me fall in love with this group, Pink Floyd's Animals. I don't show rock or kind of classic rock too much because I sort of broke myself out on it, but Pink Floyd was my favorite group at one point for years, so this was definitely one of my favorite albums. Maybe not so much anymore, but I still love it. It's still fantastic, so Animals. Doug Karn, or used to be Doug Karn. On this album he went under the name Abdul Rahim Ibrahim. Al Rahman, Cry of the Floridian Tropic Sun is the name of the record. And it's how to describe it, it's funky, really funky jazz. There's some singing on here. Yeah, kind of a different side to Doug Karn, but really, really cool. Spiritual Times. Yeah, awesome. And the last 2 I showed recently, but they're from '77, so I have to throw them in here. This one is very quickly becoming one of my favorite records, even though I just got it. Clifford Jordan, Remembering Me. Like I said, I just showed this, but damn good. Can't stress enough how much I enjoy it. So, and lastly, show this one as well. But Pat Patrick, can't go wrong with him. Figured I'd show him again. Pat Patrick and the baritone saxophone. Baritone retinue. With the name of the album, Sound Advice. So. Great stuff. If you guys want to know more about it, check out my last Things video. Alright, that's it. About 12, almost 13 minutes, so great stuff. 78 coming up next, so I'll be back for that. Go watch all you guys' responses. So take care, guys. Have a good weekend. Peace.